Like millions of other Christians across the country and the world, I attended an Easter Sunday service yesterday at my church. And in the era of COVID-19, places of worship have had to get really creative in how they hold church services. For the first time yesterday, our church, which has been streaming their services online, held a drive-in service where we all gathered in the parking lot and streamed the pastor in through our radios. It was definitely a little different. Know what else was different? The fact that I've been attending church for some 30-plus years, and for the first time that I can recall, a police officer was sitting across the street, watching and monitoring us to make sure we were complying with the state's new rules. You know why some people are starting to be concerned that their religious liberties are being threatened? Because their religious liberties are being threatened, and it has got crap diddly to do with a virus. At least one Mississippi church is now suing after its congregants were given tickets for meeting for drive-in services over the past week. According to the Delta Democrat Times, Temple Baptist Church in Greenville, Mississippi, has been holding the parking lot services in their church since the coronavirus outbreak precluded them from meeting in the building in person. But because many of their members are elderly and have trouble live streaming services online in their homes, the church has begun holding these drive-in services, transmitting the pastor's message through low-frequency FM radio into congregants' cars as they gather, with the windows rolled up and spaced appropriately apart throughout the church parking lot. It's a creative way to deal with being shut down during this pandemic. But then last Wednesday night, worshipers said police showed up to this service and told everyone to leave, then began handing out $500 tickets to everyone who refused, saying the church was reportedly violating a local ordinance that prohibited religious gatherings, even drive-in services, during this shutdown. In Louisville, Kentucky, Mayor Greg Fisher also tried to block churches from holding these drive-in services, saying that law enforcement would show up and record the license plate numbers of anyone who attended, then turn them into local health departments and order them to quarantine for 14 days. A judge had to overturn that rule and explain to this mayor that this unjustly targets churches because apparently that wasn't obvious. Never mind that drive-in services are well within the CDC's guidelines for social distancing. When the government says that you can be let out of jail and stop by the liquor store on your way to take your girlfriend to get an abortion, and all of those things are considered essential during this pandemic, but churchgoers are being handed tickets for sitting in their cars listening to their pastors on the radio, that is an outright attack on religious freedom. That's not about protecting people from a virus. They're sitting in their vehicles separated by more than 6 feet and several layers of glass. That's just picking on churches. That's making sure that they cannot meet together, no matter how socially distant they're trying to be. In the past 4 weeks, I've shopped in several crowded grocery stores. I've sat in long lines at drive-thrus. I've stood in line for takeout. I've searched for a parking spot at a jam-packed Lowe's, and I've driven by more than a few very full liquor stores, and never once did I see a cop sitting there monitoring anyone until yesterday at church, where everyone was in their vehicle with their windows rolled up. This is not about a virus, because no one was going to catch it in that parking lot, any more than they'd catch it at the drive-thru at McDonald's that the state was not bothering to creep all on. It makes no sense. For that matter, telling gun stores that they have to shut down while the abortion clinics are still open, like in California, makes no sense. Telling people they can go to the store to buy liquor but not clothes or books for their kids, like in Vermont, makes no sense. Saying you can go get takeout from Chipotle but you can't travel from your house to your own vacation home, like in Michigan, makes no sense. None of these regulations that are supposedly keeping us safe make any sense. They're not about a virus. They are about government control. The virus is the conduit for this fear, but mark my words, it is not nearly the biggest threat. And that's your Reality Check America. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, that you like us on Facebook and Twitter. Leave your comments here in the comment section, and stay sane out there.